a very special Trojan, our next senior speaker, Mecca McGlaston.
How's everybody doing? A shout out to my family who is here. I love you guys. They drove all the way down here from the Bay. My mommy's at home watching, my sister. I love you guys so much. First, I want to thank the USC Athletic Administration, our athletic director, Mr. Mike Bone. You guys go beyond for this program, and I think I speak for all of the student athletes when I say we are extremely blessed and grateful for all that you do for us. You know, 5 years ago, if you would have told me I would be standing up here speaking and delivering this speech, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. But to tell you the truth, I didn't entirely know my worth. Something like this was beyond what I'd imagined for myself. Not saying that I couldn't do it, it just didn't seem like me. You know, I always thought a student speaker had to be valedictorian, a highly decorated academic, and since his athlete graduation, achieved some monumental athletic endeavors like an individual NCAA championship, breaking national records, all of that. And I dreamed of being and doing all of those things. I wanted an individual NCAA championship, to break national records, the school record, and to make a national team. And although I didn't accomplish everything that I pictured myself doing, I actually surprised myself. You see, everyone has high expectations for themselves. They want to be the best, they want to do well, and I was no different. But when you're a competitor in an extremely competitive environment, you're around individuals whose expectations are just as high as yours, on top of people inflicting their expectations for you on you. It's so easy to get caught up in what the next person is doing. You tend to forget or neglect your own achievements and work. I remember after indoor nationals last year, I was ranting out loud about not winning, not running the time I wanted to run, and I just wasn't happy with my performance. And granted, I was All-American, and I had just came back from an injury when a coach, Coach Dan Lang, he pulled me to the side, and he says to me quietly, "It's not always about winning. Sometimes it's about your character." And at that moment, I not only shut up, but I finally understood a very important lesson. Don't let your expectations override your reality. I'm gonna say that again. Don't let your expectations override your reality. That way, you don't feel disappointed, you appreciate the little victories which all add up, and then you realize they're not so little after all. My coaches told me all the time, "Mecca, you're a star, you're something else. You're gonna be one of the greatest athletes to leave SC." And in the back of my head, I'd always think, but I haven't done anything spectacular. But you see, they weren't lying to me. I really was and am all of those things they said. And this is what Coach Dan meant by my character. In the midst of all those disappointments I had, all the hiccups, the trials, and the tribulations, I never let them define me. I never gave up, and I always kept fighting and fighting and fighting. Shoot, maybe that's why I was meant to be a Trojan. I went to the right school, because these USC Trojans, we ain't no punks, okay? Y'all can clap for that. And after that day, that's when I really discovered my worth. College will really test you. Not just test you, but it's gonna chin check you a couple of times, several times at that. It'll test your judgment, your self-esteem, your knowledge, your mental strength and stability. But of all those, the most crucial test is your test of character. Your character is what keeps you in the fight. A wise man once told me, "You can give out, but you can't give up." I gave out multiple times. There were a lot of tears, panic attacks. I was a mess. And I thought about getting up a lot. I thought I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't good enough, but I never gave up. I might not be all that I wanted to be, but here I am. Not one, not two, but 3 degrees later, being a part, thank you. They didn't mention it, but yeah, I have another master's in project management. Being a part of 2 national championship teams and several All-American titles. and not to mention a member of the best sorority to ever be founded, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and a big old smile on my face. Coach Watts and Coach Hayes, you two have known me longer than anyone at this school has. You guys remember that little girl who came in bright-eyed, not knowing what I was getting myself into? And just looking at how much you've helped me and how far I've come, I really couldn't have done it without you guys. You're like my parents, away from my real parents. And now your little girl's all grown up. I base my worth on things not achieved rather than things I did achieve. And just because things don't go your way doesn't mean it went bad. Maybe your way just wasn't the way. And in fact, you just might be in your own way. So get out of your own way. Stop limiting yourself and don't count your shortcomings as failures. Focus on the come-ups and not the downfalls. Your worth is not determined by the degree of your accomplishments or the depths of your failures. It's not determined by your expectations of yourself or others' expectations of you. It's not defined by toxic relationships, bad friends, challenging classes, an off day at practice or competition, or even getting turned down by a job. Your character will tell you that the no you got is just a redirection to that yes. Leaving here today, graduates, each and every one of you is worth more than you can imagine. And when you face challenges in life, just put things into perspective. You could have gone to the baby blue school. So clap for yourselves and celebrate living life every day, because that's an accomplishment within itself. So congratulations on graduating from one of the best universities in the country. We definitely did that. Forever and always, Trojans, fight on.